Hello Leo, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, here to do your weekly reading for September, the week starting September the 9th. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. I'm very grateful for the response I've had to this channel. If you haven't joined my channel yet, then come on board and welcome to any new subscribers. If my readings don't resonate with you, please follow up on the other aspects of your birth chart, such as your moon, Venus, rising or ascendant. And if my readings don't resonate with you, then you can move on to one of the other wonderful readers here on YouTube. Cards I'm using today are the Hanson Roberts deck. They're very easy for me to shuffle and work, so... Okay, Leo, what's happening for Leo this week? Right, 8 of Cups. So you're walking away from something this week, Leo. I actually think you might be walking towards something rather than walking away from something. It's almost like you're coming in with this determined energy, very Leo energy. I think that you're looking at something that you maybe had in your sights for a while, or you've been feeling very passionate about, because often you feel the person walking away here, but I actually feel like you're on a bit of a journey. So 8 of Cups often talks about you've got the 8 Cups, you're no longer interested in the 8 because you're going after the 2 of Cups for the happy family. So you're after that true love, soulmate love. But the moon's here saying that you have still got lots of learning to do because there's still things that you haven't seen yet. But I do love that the stars are in the sky because you're walking towards your wishes. Okay, first card out is the 2 of Swords. Now, that would make sense. You've obviously made a decision to walk away from something. The 2 of Swords shows a woman blindfolded, so she has 2 very even or equal opportunities. But this feels like love to me because I've noticed her arms are crossed, which means she's protecting her heart here. Again, the moon in the picture, so very much that you don't have the information that you want or need, but also a reluctance to really make this decision at this time because you've got the blindfold on here, so you're not seeing what you need to be seeing. But definitely something coming in where you may need to make a decision. Okay, and then we have the 7 of Swords here. Now, I've seen this a lot today, and I'm not sure if everybody's sort of running around doing the wrong thing at the moment or being a little sneaky. This doesn't feel sneaky for you. I feel like you're just gathering your resources together to move on, especially with the 8 of Cups up front. Perhaps you're gathering together your thoughts and ideas to move forward on something that you need to make a decision about. Maybe you're packing up what you want at home. You're packing your bags here and moving on. That could be the case too, being you've got the 2 of Swords and you had this energy of the 8 of Cups. But definitely feels like to me like you're gathering your resources and moving forward. Next card out is the Page of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles, the pages are often messages that are coming in. They're usually only small messages, so they generally come in the form of an email or a very short message. And the Pentacles is the offer of stability. It could be that somebody's come in and given you a small offer and you're moving towards this now. It may not necessarily be a love reading. You may be going after a job, work or business, but you're definitely being offered something here that you're very interested in because you're gathering your resources together to take this on. You just have to make a decision. So it could be that someone's offered you another job and maybe it has less money than the one you're currently doing, but it's much more in your heart. So maybe now you're following your heart, as in the Ace of Cups, rather than following the money here. So that could be what's happening here. Then we bring in the 9 of Pentacles. So I think that this is you feeling really very content with your decision. I don't think this is an easy decision for you to make, and it could be that you're starting out in your own business here because It feels to me like you're moving from something that was a lot more lucrative into something that's less money, but somehow or another you feel richer for the decision. So very much feels like maybe you're giving up work to run a business, or you're giving up something that you hate doing that pays really well for something that makes your heart sing, that makes you feel good. Whatever it is, it has a really, really nice energy that you're sort of getting what your heart desires rather than working at something you don't want to be working at. Okay, so obviously this has caused you a few sleepless nights, Leo, because we have the Nine of Swords here. And this woman always makes me feel really, really sad in this card because you can see how bent out of shape she is. And nothing worse than sleepless nights when you're troubled and worried about something. And I feel like perhaps this is how you've been trying to make this decision. And it could be other people in your family are reliant on you to have, bring in the bread and butter sort of thing. And, maybe this decision is a huge decision because you're going to change the structure of your house. Now, or your home, if this is a relationship reading, that would make sense too, because maybe you are moving into something to become, or moving out even of a relationship, to become more independent here. Whatever it is, it's really troubled you badly. It's kept you awake at nights. Okay, then we bring in the Page of Rods. And he's actually yelling at the Page of Pentacles here. So there's messages going backwards and forwards here. This is still a little bit uncertain. Sometimes the cards flow so beautifully, and other times you've got to really get into the energy to understand what's going on. I feel like somebody's very, very worried about you moving away from something. I feel like this is someone else's energy in the Nine of Swords. It's almost like you've made a decision to do something completely different, and people are concerned about this. Maybe your partner. It could be family that are concerned about you moving into something, because I'm surprised the Fool isn't here, because it feels like you're taking this huge leap of faith here to do something you've either not done before, or you're moving into this brand new energy. Because the Page of Rods looks like they're yelling up at the Page of Pentacles. So it's almost like passion's yelling at money. So whatever you're doing here, you're moving into a very different energy. Yeah. Here's your transformation, guys. Okay, I feel like maybe you've always been incredibly materialistic. Maybe you've always thought that it was the money, and now all of a sudden you've realized it's not about the money for you, and you're going to move to do something that you really want to do in your heart. I feel like it's being met with resistance with perhaps your family, people around you. People are discouraging you from doing this, and you feel to me like you're hugely determined because your passion is overriding your need for materialistic things at this time. I think that perhaps you've been a person who's had, quite a lucrative career, and perhaps you're changing that now. Okay, so we come in with the Three of Swords next. So this is not easy for you to do. This isn't an easy energy for you to manage. I think that you're hurting people by making this decision, and that's not a bad thing. You have to trust where you're being led. Only we in our hearts know the direction we need to move into, and I feel like this is where you're going with this. If this is about a relationship, you could be leaving one person to go to another. You may be leaving behind a very materialistic lifestyle to move into one where you really love someone, and you know that you're leaving someone behind, so that hurts you to do that through this energy here. But whatever this is very transformative. I think you're making a decision that you wouldn't have made before. It's a decision to do what your heart wants you to do rather than your head. So this is very, very much a heart over head decision here. And then we have the Chariot. Okay, so you could be moving towards a Cancer. If you're not moving towards a Cancer, you've definitely got your direction now. You've definitely got things sorted out. You know the direction you're going in and you're following it. And then comes out the Eight of Swords. Look, this energy over this side of the reading is quite a tough energy. I feel like whatever you're chosen to do here, whatever direction you're moving in, it's like you're really going against everything that you've stood for before. You're leaving behind this, very head-driven, money orientated thing to go to something that your heart really loves. Don't get caught in this Eight of Swords energy where you're, you know, tied up in your thinking of whether you've done the right thing or not. And I think that even though you're meeting with resistance here and a lot of people don't agree with what you're doing, I mean, it could be family, friends, could be the place that you've moved away from or the person you're moving away from, but whatever it is, it's a good move for you. You're finally thinking more with your head than your heart. And the oracle card that's come out here is the Phoenix. So it talks about being prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis, which sits very nicely with this reading. Because I feel like this is what you're doing. It's like you're moving out of this energy of what everybody's expected of you to follow something that's strong in your heart. Thanks, Leo.